It's okay to have an opinion, of course. It's inevitable. But, and I've talked about this before, opinions are kind of overrated. Like, we care way too much about our opinions. Our opinions in many ways help define us, of course. Like, if my friends were to tell someone about me, they might say something like, oh, he likes video games, his favorite color is orange, he likes hip-hop music. All these things are based on my opinions. But this is all a very personal thing. I don't expect my personal opinions to have external consequences, nor do I need them to be validated by anyone else. As silly as it sounds, I think people often have a hard time distinguishing between an opinion and a fact. Like, a fact has external consequences. It is a fact that if I'm holding something and I let go of it, it will fall down. Regardless of how I feel about it, it's gonna happen. Like, you know how we're quick to say, let's agree to disagree. Or, that's just like
your opinion, man.
But it seems to me like a lot of the times when we say those things, what we really mean is, I think you're wrong and I think I'm right. And when we do this, what we're really doing is making an assertion. An assertion is when you state something as if it is a fact and not an opinion, which is okay if you can provide support for that assertion. But since an opinion is personal and by definition cannot be wrong or right, the idea of finding evidence to support an opinion is kind of incoherent. For example, lots of people think that today's pop music is bad. This is, of course, an opinion, which is fine to have. But many people assert that pop music is objectively bad and that people who disagree are wrong. There's no way that you could argue or prove that. So when we encounter someone with whom we have differing opinions and we say they're wrong, I think that's the wrong way to think about it. And that's kind of what I mean when I say we care too much about our own opinions. A lot of times we just can't deal with the fact that other people don't always agree with us. So we tell ourselves that they're just less enlightened than we are. Or sometimes we even convince ourselves that they're bad people and their opinions are ruining the world, which again would be very hard to prove, especially considering that what is good for the world is a matter of opinion. Now, often we're compelled or challenged to persuade other people to agree with our opinions. This is often referred to as presenting an argument or debating. And I love debates. This is one of the best ways to improve your critical thinking and broaden your perspective. And the ongoing societal discourse is basically just a societal debate that helps us decide our values. And very clearly, some arguments are better than others. But just because one person has a better argument than another person does not mean that their opinion is right. It may mean that it's more convincing or more informed. For example, my favorite Doctor is David Tennant, but I've only seen 2 full episodes of Doctor Who, both of which feature David Tennant. So any argument I would make in favor of David Tennant being the best Doctor would be not that convincing. But as you might know, there are plenty of people who've watched tons of Doctor Who think David Tennant is the best Doctor. Some of you may be thinking, well, no, an opinion can be wrong. Like, some people have the opinion that evolution isn't real or that racism doesn't exist. But in this case, you're not expressing an opinion anymore. You're expressing a misconception. That is to say, you're saying something that is factually and provably incorrect. Now, this is different than an assertion because an assertion may be true. It also may be false. It may be an opinion or it may be ambiguous. For example, many people assert that there's intelligent life on other planets. So this doesn't qualify as an opinion because it's something that is clearly either true or false, but at this point it's ambiguous. A misconception is something that is believed to be true but is just flat out not true. And misconceptions can be dangerous. Like, a lot of people believe that vaccines cause autism, and this belief has led to actual children getting sick. In most cases, it's very hard to not have an opinion. It's kind of like our human gut reaction, even if we aren't particularly informed. But that's fine. We just have to keep in mind that our opinions don't mean much when they aren't backed by data or facts. And even if they are, some people will draw different conclusions from those same facts. All we can do as a society is attempt to present compelling arguments. That's what I try to do, at least. And at the end of the day, the most compelling argument to the most number of people will win out. And some of them you'll agree with and some of them you won't. Beyond that, there's not much else you can do besides like move to a different place that shares your values. I guess the main point is it's not about rightness and wrongness when we're talking about tastes and opinions and worldviews. It's about discussions and being thoughtful. Don't get so attached to your own opinion that you lose sight of that. That's just me though. What should the next video be about? Drop a comment. I want to give a shout out to all the new subscribers. How you doing? Consider hitting the thumbs up button if you like the video and subscribe if you like my hair.